It's always interesting to hear the chatter from the sideline reporters and television folks that get to meet with college football coaches before games. And one of the interesting things that was said during the G Day broadcast was Kirby Smart's, uh, questioning is probably the sounds more sinister than it is, but Kirby talking about asking this question about Jalen Carter, who is again one of Georgia's best players, probably one of the best players in the country, just generally speaking. If Jalen Carter is not a first round draft pick next year, that would be pretty shocking to me. Um, but Kirby was talking with the play by play folks, and the question that Kirby had is, can Jalen Carter play 5 downs in a row uh, during a series? And if you remember, I mean, most defensive linemen don't just hang in there the whole drive. I mean, that's not necessarily a common thing. And the other thing that was discussed was, can he play, all downs and all this, that, and the other. But he had not played a ton because this spring, apparently, according to Katie George, who was covering the game for ESPN on the sidelines, because Georgia was getting more of the younger players in there. But that becomes a question for Jalen Carter. What is his conditioning durability going to be like this fall? Um, you know, can he play all of the downs that Georgia needs him to play? Because there's a difference in between playing uh, a lot of downs and playing all of the downs you need to play when you need to play them. One thing that Georgia talked about at the Orange Bowl, if memory serves correct, was conditioning. They wanted to make sure that they were in as good a condition as possible for that game. Um, because when they played Alabama, uh, that did not go well, and I don't think they wanted to leave anything out there to chance. So here comes this team, and they get another shot to play in a big game, this time against Michigan, and they didn't have any issues there, that's for sure. But one of the reasons why is because Jalen Carter was playing a lot of snaps in that game, and it's clear to me that not only is Jalen extremely gifted, we know that. I mean, again, I don't know if he can go as the number one overall draft pick. I'm not that smart. If Trayvon Walker can go number two or one, whatever Trayvon will go, Jalen Carter can go that high too. But he is clearly one of the best, say, 15 players in college football, probably the best defensive lineman out there right now. And Georgia needs him a lot and all the time. And it's asking a lot for someone his size. Keep in mind how big Jalen Carter is. I got a photo in here of Jalen. Yeah. So look how big he is. Now you got two first rounders in theory right there, right next to him. Jalen doesn't exactly look real small, and he's a big guy. The guy is a nasty football player. He is consistent. He has play. I have seen him play fullback, defensive line, and punter in my time watching him play. I guess he played tight end too, although I can't recall how he scored against Tennessee, if that was him playing tight end or not. That though, all those things shows how gifted he is. He was not a bad punter. Like, he was a pretty good high school punter. Like, high school punting is not what you go to watch on Friday nights. But when Jalen Carter was back there kicking, it was a pretty interesting. It was fun to watch. But he's a he's a big, burly man playing in the SEC against other big, burly men. And what separates him from other guys is his ability to win battles that are often one on one. The other thing that I don't think was really discussed by Greg McElroy and company on the telecast is that, Jalen Carter's going to have to deal with more doubles this coming season than he did in the past, simply because Jordan Davis is not around. Now, can Zion Logue eat a couple of guys during plays? Um, I don't know, but Jalen Carter is as important to Georgia as any player not named Stetson Bennett. He is really, really important. He is a gifted player. He is, but his, in the recent past, I was talking about how the honeymoon's over. His that's what Kirby called it. But Jalen's 2022 is not going to be the same as his 2021. He's going to have a bullseye on him the entire time. He's going to have to fight his way a lot more often through doubles or just whatever. I'm sure he deals with doubles a lot, don't get me wrong. But I think he's going to be even more of a target for teams because if you can at least slow Jalen down, it gives you a chance to run a little bit, or function offensively. There were so many teams that Georgia played, a lot of teams, everybody not named Alabama, that had a hard time functioning. I mean, Clemson scored a field goal. Some teams didn't score. Arkansas, Vanderbilt, UAB. I mean, this team had a really nasty defensive streak. Only one team scored more than 20 points on them, and they only did that once in the two games they played. So, but here's Devontae. These are three exceptional defensive linemen that are not named Jalen Carter making a huge play that was called back in the national championship game. Now Jalen's 2022 is going to be different. Now y'all all know that, and you all know that you can pick up DAWGSTRUCTION before this fourth running of Prince gets done. Please click it now and get it so you can have it before I have another order that I have to make. But this, here's Robert Beal and Trayvon Walker. There's the three guys from Trayvon and Jordan, and just this team was just so loaded up with guys defensively. Nakobe, Adam Anderson played half the season last year, but Jalen Carter's motor. Now it's not like David Pollock's, I don't think, but he's kind of one of those guys that you'd better watch him all the time because he'll just block a kick, or he's a guy that he is not dissimilar to what Clemson used Christian Wilkins for. Now, I know a lot of times I get on the players that y'all don't know who they are, but he is a player that is so athletically gifted that you can run trick plays with him, that you can use him when you're at the goal line on first and second down and short and just slam the ball in there. Remember when Georgia had a hard time scoring from like the 3 or the 2? You remember that Florida game? They don't have that problem anymore. And one reason why is because they can bring an SUV off the sideline and just have them ram away from 5 yards away, get 5 yards of momentum coming right at them. But can Jalen do the functional things he's got to do in order for Georgia to be great? We don't know, right? I mean, I think he can, but his 2022 is going to be different than his 2021.